is.
Hi, Scott.
I'm so sorry. I mean,
Okay.
it was like I had every minute down to the minute today.
I did apologize profusely. I said it was entirely my
No
fault.
worries.
I really wanted to talk to you, and
It's
it
all
did take
good.
more time than we planned. So,
And I appreciate our conversation. It was great. Okay. How many people have access to their screen?
I
Craig,
All of us.
Craig, you
Yep.
see everything?
Yep.
All right. So let me explain how I want to go through this. So what I want to do, and this is not to rehash the past, okay? So I want to go over the SOW so we could see what was expected. Then I want to show you what Carrie sent so you could see that. And I also have what Jeff sent. The purpose of that is that we're going to have that in mind while we look at all of the designs and branding. Then what we want to do is then I have the page requirements page, and we have what got completed and what's left to be completed, because partially our outcome out of this call is going to be two things. One is going to be feedback about what I show you, and the other thing is going to be what's our, like, what pages do you want us to do that weren't in the original SOW? And to just so you know, because again, Carrie, I hope she's doing well wherever she is. But what Carrie and my conversation was like, you know, she was like chill and a nice person. So what we said is like, look, when we get to a point where we know it's like going to go over what, you know, the 100 hours, let me know and we'll go over it. So I'm just saying Carrie's not here anymore, so I'll do that with you guys. Okay? Does that make sense? As an approach?
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So with the UX UI, so review current design and user experience, provide expert advice, right? Design out key screens and functionality components. So this is one of the things where we got confused as well. So I'm just pointing that out. Prepare development and deliver in sketch doc format. So Magnus said that's up to Chuck, that Magnus can also give it as a Photoshop file. So it's whatever is easiest for your team to use. Okay? Then this first meeting was supposed to just be going over the key visuals, the key direction, all that. In a way, we did that with those 3 screens a while ago, okay? Then VIA3 was supposed to provide a user diagram, wireframes, previous design files, any assets, images, any files, etc. And then client will provide robust test environment, interfacing with the development team, etc. The delivers will be design direction for interface, visual design applied to current wireframes, which don't exist, update user interface with visuals and components. This was one of the confusing things because this said update. So this is one of the places where Magnus got stuck, because update would have been using the old platform, not making a new platform. And this is all based exactly on RFP from Carrie. Again, this is not about rehashing. I just wanted you to see it. Okay. So modifiable for future development, desktop, branding for new colors, themes, modifiable, desktop optimized. So obviously this timeline went to hell, as we all know. And then there was checkpoints. We had way more than the checkpoints. And then change control. Any change in scope or schedule must be submitted in writing. We know that's kind of going out the deep end as well. Then this is what Carrie sent, which was different than what Jeff had, right? So again, very informal language, color palette, replace Unity with VIA3, you know, change the boxy nature, all icons need to be revisited, hover help needs to be reviewed. She likes flush left, flush right, not centered. Then we had what we thought the scope of work was: landing page, login screen, app. This would be the home page. This is the apps, which we know afterwards, Carrie said, forget about the apps. But then after another conversation, we said, put the apps back in. the navigation, the other navigation, channel history, whatever that means. I mean, which is just part of channel. Current channel, again, another navigation. The other navigation. Then we had the direct message, the quick, I'm calling it quick account view because we're going to make an account page too. This is like so you could quickly assess your account. Then the whole like meet now issue, the scheduling, meet now again, and that's it. This is my entire thing that I got from her. Then what I got from Jeff, direct messages, file storage, nav bar, primary channel, project channels, schedule, sidebar, VDJJ, which we know is out of scope, and we all talked about that we need to address how that goes in the future, and that's it. So in what Jeff sent, what was new was having files as part of the scope. All right, that reviews everything up to me actually showing you something, which is what you've all been waiting for. What do you want to see first? Oh, let's go over branding real quick. Whoops, that's my CPU. So the branding SOW was new VIA3 logo, corporate branding guidelines document, proposal for future phases. So really it was just these two things were the only deliverables. And the future phases that I discussed with Carrie about was launching your website, creating marketing materials, everything that Patty would need to put on LinkedIn, all that. So we would work with UX UI designer to create proposed, just to get his feedback and get your feedback. Again, change control in writing, and that's it. Okay. And then actually there was branding phase 2 and branding phase 3. And what she said is at the end of branding phase 1, she wanted to have us, she said, as soon as part of phase 1 was to give a proposal for phase 2 and phase 3. Okay. So what do you want to see first, branding or UX UI? Is everybody there?
I would say UX UI.
I'm here. I don't have a preference.
All right.
He said UX UI.
All right, here we go. So this is someone comes into their office. They're not logged in. We're just pretending Long Beach. So you log into Long Beach. Everyone see this?
Yes.
Okay, so the questions on this page are, let me make it actually bigger and so that you don't see the preview so you could be more surprised. So the question here, so what I told Magnus, so you guys can verify this, okay? So what I told Magnus was, because he's like, won't they be logging in from the VIA3 website? I said, no. I said, the way VIA3 is working is VIA3 is being licensed to, the police, the town government, whatever. So that when someone gets to their desk, they're logging in. And so I said, they'll already have this, imagine this is already on their desk and they're logging in from there. So that's my instructions that I told Magnus. Do you guys have any feedback about that?
That makes sense. I like that idea. I hadn't looked at it that way, but I like it. Log into my organization.
Right. And then what I told him is that we would just create, we'd have this, we'd leave the nav here so that people get that they're in the world of this app, right? Because you don't want to just have some blank screen, but then there'll be like, whatever, hover text that says you have to log in to use this, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the concept there. Everyone agree? Everyone on board?
One quick question. How would they know that you're logging into that that organization if they haven't logged in before?
Well,
the URL doesn't specify the organization or anything, so it'd be hard to say, hey, you're logging into Long Beach when you don't even log in yet.
Well, that, and I'll go over with you. So after we go through this, we're going to go over the requirements document, because that, again, that's one of the things that Magnus has been, I'm not going to use the word complaining, but I'll say that word, is that all these kind of states and conditions and all that is the kind of documentation that you guys are supposed to supply, right? And so this is just our best guess, right? So I'm saying, give us the case and we'll make it match whatever the case is. So this was our best guess here, was like, you're a Long Beach employee, you left last night, you come back to your computer, it's like this. But if you have a different thing, that's what we're saying, because if it's something where anyone can log in from anywhere, maybe there's like a VIA3 website or VIA3/Long Beach. So you guys just have to tell us how that works.
Yeah. If this first said log into VIA3, Craig, to your point, then it would work. And then if they got logged out due to inactivity, which is something the devs and I are already working on, then the log back in screen could be this.
But so Jeff, this is the stuff you and I need to sit on.
Right.
Just go through
Yeah. We can make this work.
Yeah, that's the requirement thing. That is what the requirements are, that we describe what happens on the page, yeah, but I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this is via3.com/Long Beach, or it's Long
That'd
Beach.
also work.
Right, longbeach.gov/via3. Because to me,
that would also work.
You're licensing this to Long Beach. I was thinking this would live in with their Long Beach system, and that you guys would have it that you're like, here you go, here's your service agreement, all that it actually lives with them, and and to me that makes it much more like that they're getting something. Do you get what I mean? Like, so that your work on Long Beach is longbeach.com/via3. Boom, you log in.
We could talk about that. We could maybe make that redirect.
Well,
Something
with the
to revisit.
nurses, I'm sorry, with the nursing, do you think that would work with them? Because they're like with the semester, but you guys can discuss that. But yeah.
All right, but you get, this is like a VIA3 side conversation, which
Yeah. No, I like the idea. I think we can make it work.
Okay, but that's it. That's okay. So that's it. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Homepage. Woo! Look at this. All right, so this is your homepage. All right. So this was that idea of having different stripes, right?
I like it.
So you have your events. So these are like your upcoming events. Then these are your channels. Okay. Now you see where it says Team LA?
Yeah, I like that. That's a drop down. Looks like you
Right,
can
and
switch. Oh, that's how you change projects.
Yup.
Nice.
Then the plus has you be able to add projects.
Right.
Then you have your apps. Okay, we have no information about what apps are.
No, that's fine. I mean, that's all it needs to be.
And then alerts, we had said new user added to Parks channel. Files are added to your repository. Check your account settings. So if you give us the different types of alerts, we can make the icons for all that stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Craig, what do you think so far?
All right, keep it going.
All right. Well, okay.
I love the 3 dots menu. I also love the 3 lines. That's clearly adjust
That's what I was
order.
about to say. So the 3 lines make it so you can move things up and down.
Yeah.
And then the stars make it so you could create favorites.
Yeah. I mean, it totally makes sense. The 3 lines should maybe have like triangle arrows because maybe people don't understand them as quickly as I did, but I do get it. It's perfect.
What? No, the 3 lines, that's the normal.
It's pretty universal. I mean, I got it right away. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no arrows with 3 lines usually. Just
okay.
I mean, I'll show again. Look, Jeff, write down anything you have a question about.
Yeah.
And I could give you examples. All
Oh,
that.
no, I like it. I immediately understood the 3 lines. I like how immediately understandable it is. I'm just open to feedback if anyone else.
It may be that I want him to move the 3 lines down. I think they're a little too close to the 3 dots. So you guys get like, I'm still even giving Magnus.
Right. We could maybe put the 3 dots inside the gray box. Whatever. Minor tweaks. It's generally awesome.
Right. Then the other thing is we could have a hover here, which hovers and has all the people's names that are in the channel.
Mm-hmm.
But these are all like things that, either Chuck extrapolates off of like the dialogue boxes or something like that. Okay. Now here we go. So now you've you've clicked a channel, the three dots,
Yep.
edit channel, leave channel, subgroups. So the subgroups were going to be, you guys, so I still need more information about the subgroups, but that was going to be if there were, remember you guys were saying that people could make a group inside the general services. There might be 4 other sub channels in the general services. So you guys haven't really told us that yet. So that's why it says subgroups. Also, you could tell us what else should be in this dialog box. Okay.
Right. No, it's totally fine. Subgroups could maybe be like, you know, private or breakout or like whatever. I mean, the concept is
Exactly.
absolutely there.
Right. Now this is, okay, so now, by the way, and then of course you have the 3 dots here, which you didn't give. Okay. So
Yeah.
we're just not showing you, we just didn't want to show you the same thing twice. So on the calendar page, so this is something where Magnus kind of overruled me based on his experience. So he said, if you have upcoming events here, that should be, and if we decide to do this like quick, like shift out thing when you're on other pages, but he said, he said, if upcoming events is on the home page, don't put it on the calendar page. Okay.
Fair enough.
So then you click on a date, and then you have what meetings are happening. If it's current, you could join meeting, all that. What do you guys think of this?
I like it. I like putting join meeting as a button instead of putting it inside the dots.
Yeah, so he was just saying that doing this would be redundant.
Uh-huh.
And then this is the year view.
Very cool.
So you see you have your drop down up here, month and year.
Yep.
Okay. Then you have, oh, you do, he did make it. Okay. So the 3 dots, edit event, invite, delete. So again, these boxes can all change the way this.
No, of course. Yeah, like invite doesn't have to say invite. It could say add remove. Like totally get it.
Okay.
Or edit members, like whatever. Yeah.
Right. And if we don't like this exact design, we can work on that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's create meeting. And I actually added an extra thing just for you guys. So this is, so now you say you hit new meeting. Create new meeting. Now remember in the instructions we have, it said use what's there, right? Plus you and I had the conversation, Jeff.
Yeah.
So the schedule, what we did is we just had drop downs. You see start and end. So we could have the start time and the length. That's what he did just based on your current system.
Right.
You just put in your time and the length. And you can see it so cleans it up. The other thing we could do is do start and end and not have length. I don't know why we have length. I think lose length.
We are amenable to either, whether start and length or whether start and end is more standard. Just tell us and we'll do it.
End is more standard, but I didn't think it was important for this meeting. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to send this to you, then we'll discuss it. Okay. Now, my little special thing that I added was to have a drop down for the channel for the meeting that you guys
totally makes sense. That. I think we assume that we should be selecting that. Fully agreed.
If it's not in the requirements, it's not assumed, right?
Like, no, I meant the platform assumes that, but selecting it is better.
Yeah, but you have to say where. So that was the thing. Is like, this makes it so like your meeting gets matched up with your
make the event channel optional.
Yep, it's gonna be
outside event setup.
Already done. It's gonna say none.
Okay.
Already thought it through. So it's gonna be event channel because we're just showing this to you. I mean, ultimately, you have what's in here, and it'll say none, and then your channels.
Right.
But you might as well you just select none. That's really easy, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, and the other thing is, we didn't do the meet now yet, or just start immediately because the whole thing with the start immediately that is kind of out. Again, I don't want to say outside of scope. I don't even want to call it that, I just feel like we haven't thought out, because we've had conversations about direct video and all that. So we should have some sort of unified approach about, creating the whatever language we create for starting, like clicking on a person and inviting them, start an immediate video chat, right? We have to have the same language across the whole thing. So that's why I'm saying I don't think create new meeting is going to be immediate meeting, and I'll show you why in a minute, okay?
All right.
Now, the other thing about the invitation options, we should talk about this because you guys have the SMS and email right now.
Mhm.
But my thought is that we integrate this with the contacts, and then you just go into your contacts. And so there's a button that says go into my contacts, and then it's like internal, external, whatever. So that's my thought about what to do with invitation options, is go into my contacts. I think lose this SMS email completely. And then again, that gives more unity to the platform, that your contacts are integrated with your meetings. If the person's not in there, it should say create new contact.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
is what I think, and I need to tell you guys that so you can see it's kind of outside.
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
It totally makes sense. And then it just sends like a DM
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. All right. So now here's the channel page. Now you've seen this already. So Magnus forgot to put the share screen here. Oh no, I think that's share screen, right? No, it's not. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So remember we had the floating heads?
Yes.
So I told him that does not work. Okay, especially knowing where we're starting from, absolutely does not work. What I'm thinking is it's going to be some sort of pane that comes up here that you get to see who's in the channel. So in other words, this is work in progress. This is something I want to discuss. So Jeff, what we need to discuss is all the use cases of who's in a channel, because this was left really loose, right?
No, I mean, because it's still underway right now, and Chuck also knows this. Users in channel is the subject of much discussion for the last 2 weeks. So,
All right, great. So but where I vetoed Magnus, I said no. He's like, you could just put your. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen.
yeah, because there's a weird, and again, Chuck can back me up. There's a weird discrepancy between you can be in the channel but not the video call. And we gotta we're working on hammering that out. So you can leave it like that, and once we get it, we'll put it there. Understood.
Well,
and Craig also knows. Craig, you know what I mean? Users in channel, you can be on that list if you're not in the video call because you are in the chat. It's weird. It's nebulous. We're literally hammering it out this week.
Okay, so Jeff, what we're gonna do, okay, and this goes to the requirements document, right? So what I'll do is I'll tell Magnus, this is how we're doing attendees list, because I think we could do the tab approach also, who's live, who's not. So I think the two of us can figure this out, no problem.
Yeah.
We talk it through, not an issue.
You know what? I actually already love what you just said. If we do the tab interface similar to weekly team meeting, and one of the tabs is invited, and one of the tabs is present in chat, and one of the tabs is present in video, that's solid. I'm not saying we do it, but I'm saying yes, let's talk about it, and especially talk about exactly that, because that might be it.
Right. So and I think it would balance and it would look good. And
it would.
Maybe we'd have it be that something you can hide.
I'm writing it down.
So it's all in here too. So, and it'll be on our scope document. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the idea there, is to create something similar to this, but we're not creating it until you give us the what do you call it? The scope of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to bring your attention up here because again, we did a lot, but there's still more to do. So the idea here also is that we'll add faxes, we'll add DocuSign, all that stuff will be here. Now, the question is whether you want to have it grayed out so that if a certain account hasn't paid for DocuSign, is DocuSign here grayed out, and then they click it and then they go, oh, I do want DocuSign. Let me add that to my apps. So that's a whole nother thing about how we want to approach.
Right, and Craig, you and I spoke about that on Monday night. Like, how do we want to do that? Do we want to grade out and prompt them to call sales and upgrade their account, or do we want to just not display it?
So I mean, I'll share my just a thought. This is a brain dump, so don't take this as what I want. But what if there's a apps icon, okay? And that apps is more of a page or a pull out that says, hey, these are other apps Unity has. If you're interested, breaks it down by per app, what they do. If you're interested, contact us. We can activate it at some point. Let them activate on their own, right? So you have one icon for apps. If somebody has an app assigned to their account and access to it, pin it to the sidebar. Let them unpin it if they don't want it to be, as a shortcut, or pin it and that they have it as a shortcut, or they can access it from the apps button. But let them make the choice of what pins and what doesn't pin.
All right, Craig, guess what? I have the solution already.
Okay.
My apps, DocuSign, hit the star, it appears here.
Right, the favorite.
That's it. You favorited the app goes on your nav bar.
So is there an app icon on the left side?
No, I wouldn't do that.
So if you didn't know, you can only access it from the home page.
Well, you want to think, look, it's your products. It's up to you.
Well, I'm just saying.
I have an idea. Let's talk about it later, but I have an idea that I think incorporates Scott's design and Craig's proposal and will work really well, but let's discuss it later. You and I, Scott, and you tell me if it's a good idea, and maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll keep talking about it.
All right,
but I just wrote my idea down to remind me for later.
Yeah, go ahead, write it down. But let me just give you a thought here, is that the plus could take you to like the app store.
That's extremely close to my idea.
So you plus it, you go to the app store, you add apps, then you have apps here. Use the same star languaging because we want to keep the languaging the same. That's why I'm saying you star the app ends up on your nav, because you want to think about that ultimately this is not going to be a function, that this is going to be an admin function, not a user function. So you want to remember that too, because Joe Blow in accounting doesn't get to buy an app on VIA3. Long Beach should buy the app for VIA3. So he needs to tell a supervisor, hey, we need DocuSign. And then the admin of the parks department is the one who adds it to their apps. That's my thought. Again, we could talk about it later, but I'm saying if you really think about it, this is an appropriate engagement and sales area. The nav saying more apps is not. Because if you really think about the use case, it's like telling someone there's more apps they could use. No, this is a navigation. This is your world. We don't want to muck up your world with, hey, you could get some other apps. That's what this is for. So that's what I'm leaving you with. That's best practices. I think nav is nav. And I think the customizability of the nav, I mean, we could even say to put it in like, you could do my apps and put it in like customize mode and like move your icons around and favorite which icon is first. You could even call everything an app. You could call contacts an app, and my apps could be the way you organize your navigation. Because we have the 3 lines here, you're just moving it around.
Yep,
that would be amazing. All right, so I mean, we've already started thinking about it. Jeff, if you have a different idea, but I highly recommend.
It's extremely close. I already wrote it down. Let's talk about it later. It's an expansion on that.
Great. Okay, yeah. Because I would, and you can see he made different icons. These are temporary, right? We've been working for however long. You'll get more icons. Don't worry. Okay.
Understood.
All right. So where did we leave off? Okay.
Right here. We're talking about the left side. Yeah.
Okay. So now we have group message. Okay. And then you see the red thing is for private.
Yeah.
Oh, this is you guys want to see the 9-person view?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, hang on. Let me see. So that's the 9-person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what I think, and again, we're gonna have to talk about scope and all that. I think one of the things we talked about is having things that come out to here, right? And then maybe I'll have Magnus do one. But that's again, this is something probably Chuck can do. That if we have 9 that gets like minimized a little bit and the width changes a little bit, if something slides out, you know, I don't know that we need to waste money on Magnus.
No, we probably don't. We already have an existing user selectable feature. Do the slide outs make the video windows compress, or do the slide outs obscure the video windows? We'll just maintain that similar choice.
Right. So, and then look, he made a pop out for private.
Yeah.
So we should talk about what that would look like and all that as well.
Yes.
Now here's the file. So you click your files and here's all your files.
Yes.
So you're in your channel. Here's all your files. So here's the 3 dots. We have to decide what's in these 3 dots. I don't love this. First of all, I think it should be up, not next to it. I think it should be above, up here, which is what's normal. And we need to get the list of everything that's in this.
Right, like raise hand, etc. Okay.
Okay. So we are not done with this page yet.
Okay.
What I want to do is, and this again, Jeff, we need to have this conversation because we have start call, we have join call, like join current call. So I'm thinking that over here, so what I want is that this slides out to about here. So that now this whole thing kind of expands out to here. And then there's a zone here. So you have it, you're in the, and that way people can be like, oh, I'm in chat mode. I'm in like, you know, like we don't always have to have a call, right? And then here could be current call, and then ... attendees, and then you could see that. Just Magnus does not have time to get to that. But my concept is that you have join current call. It's a blue button, just like the other blue buttons we have.
Hang on, I'm gonna call Vito back in. Okay.
We good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the idea is, again, expand the chat. Then we have buttons here, not designed yet, about if there's a current call, it would be like status. You know, it'd be like 23 minutes, 32 seconds, ... You could see who's in it. You could join it, all that. So I put some of the stuff in the requirements, just my best guess, but we got to discuss that. Okay.
Yep.
So that's this thing. What do we have in the world of you're not in a call, but you have the option to either start a call or join a call? And can they do both? And do we even call it call? So those are the things that we have to address.
Okay.
All right, my files. Now, again, this is just based on screenshots.
No, but that looks nice. I mean, that's good. That's fine. And we can use the exact same screen for faxes.
All right, but we can do better. Okay, I'm just sorry, just laughing for.
I mean, but it fits. It matches the rest of the look and feel of the other screens.
Absolutely, but we should think about if there's anything else we want to do, because I was thinking, you know, we have that ... language. So he has this choose here, actions. So what Magnus did over here is an actions thing, and then a drop down for actions. Okay.
Yeah.
You can also see upload file, refresh, search. Okay. So these all we need to discuss what should go up here too.
Okay.
Okay. And then look, it says the type of file, video file, audio file. Look, nice touch, right?
It is.
Icons. So now these icons, because we're thinking ahead to the other, what do you call it? Remember we said we're gonna have a video library, all that kind of stuff. So we were just thinking ahead to that. So that's what that was designed for. Okay.
I mean, that works. And it's easy enough for us to make, you know, our own changes here. Like, for example, in the fax interface, instead of size, it could say pages. Like, Nothing needs to change that we can't do for that, but follow the same template.
Right. So
As
yeah,
well as created by and shared too. Like
Exactly.
share it in the for faxes.
Yeah,
that could be
instead of
also-
created by, it could be shared with. I mean, like,
Right.
this is flexible. This is what we wanted and needed.
exactly. But again, like for me and Magnus to add like a couple more fields, whatever, like we should just think about the actions and all that. So, but
Right.
him putting the actions there, boom, download, share, delete.
Yeah, that's good.
And then again, you see we're trying to match the same kind of dialog box that we've been doing. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Now my contacts. Again, this was our best guess based on our conversations. Okay. So name, status. Now what I was saying we need is this is where it would be like badge number, you know, what group, what channels are they in, right? Maybe this channels has like a drop down of channels or whatever. So I'm saying this again, this was only our best guess.
No. This is good. This is fine. I would say, Craig, to the thought I know you're having right now,
Moolah.
the last two people, they're not in a channel because they're offline. But the people who are active, yeah, list the channel that they're in currently. Like, that totally makes sense. Also, Chuck, that status column, we already talked about that.
Yep.
We need to make those dots work so that we can do this column.
Yes. Yeah, we're trying to iron out to make sure that those statuses are the
Right.
correct to the actual status.
Yeah, and I mean, we have that functionality present. It just doesn't work. But this is like the kick in the pants we need to make it work so that we can populate that column.
Great. So here's again, this is what I want you and me to meet about, Jeff.
Okay.
I think there should be tabs or some kind of tab linguistics here where you have your kind of VIA3 contacts and then the rest of your contacts.
Yeah.
It should be, because ultimately, remember, we want to add like emailing people, and we want this that they never have to leave this app, right?
No, I agree. And we talked about this before. If we did this page with the ability to import my Google contacts, my LinkedIn contacts, whatever, and exactly what you're saying, these are the people in VIA, these are the people that I just
Right.
know, then you could invite those external people to VIA quicker and easier.
All right, so I'm telling you, this page needs more love.
Yeah.
And we need. This is where I was saying we need to do those requirements, because if you think about it, whatever this is here, this little thing with my files, we have that version with my contacts. Get it? So there's right. So there's right. You have an import here. You have an import here, right?
Yes.
So that's where, right. So we want it. We could do that like literally tomorrow. Bang this out. Okay.
I'm down.
And what I'm saying is, and I've told this to Magnus too, I want him to create something that's flexible enough to think of every client you have. So I'd rather you give me too much stuff and us to see how we fit it in, rather than and show you different versions of that, than to give you this and then you guys try to shoehorn things in. Because it's not going to be a lot of work for Magnus to do like correct layout and all that. Because to me, like I said, this is my contacts inside of VIA3. Then there's my contacts in the rest of the world where there isn't a status bar and all that.
Right. Well, instead of a status bar, oh my God, there's an invite button. But okay, getting ahead of myself.
No, that's it, right? But then this is my point about get ready for the next thing. So then your actions are direct message, video call, email, add to channel, remove contact. So we already have this.
Yes.
Okay. So the idea with the actions, again, this could be look a little nicer. I don't love it just yet. So just again, remember that I'm still like, this is how far we got. So I need this list. But to me, if you want, that's why the invite thing doesn't need to say, what was it again? Like what?
Email and SMS. Yeah.
No. What's the thing in VIA3 in the current app? I'll tell you in a second.
Okay. I believe it's email and SMS. What do you?
No. You're talking about something different.
Okay.
Oh, Oh, meet now.
Oh, so you're saying instead of putting meet now over there, put it right
No,
here
I
because this
thought-
is basically
Right. So
okay.
over here, I got rid of meet now because remember we said create new meeting. We were going to put a button here called meet now.
Right. But
But-
we wouldn't need it there if it was down in context.
Exactly. And the whole idea of create new meeting is you're creating a new meeting. We integrate that with your contacts. Or over here, you have your contacts and you just say meet now.
Right.
And we could even, and then these actions here, do you see there's already.
You know, we could also put a schedule here too. One of those actions could be schedule later, and it just fires up the same scheduler, but these guys are already listed as an attendee.
Right. But that's just this, right? See, that's my point. Like once you.
No, I get that, but like that menu, it doesn't exist. There's no way for me to tell you what that is because it's growing constantly. Like I just added another thing to it right now. But I love yeah, there it is. And then the devs can just figure out what we can put in there.
Well, yes. So my point is, we just design this for you. You put whatever the hell you want in there. But yeah, exactly. In here, you put schedule, and then the same modal that we made over here
Could be launched from there too. I mean, that would be nice.
on top of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Right. So that I'm telling you, we're already thinking that. But again, I need you to give me. We need to go through and get every little thing. Okay. All right. So now we have. Remember, we have the person here. Remember that the thing that you have on VIA 3. I'm calling that view. I've named it for you guys. I'm calling that view the quick account view. So this view, your quick account, right? Because we still have to design an account page, but this is your quick account page, right? So then that's what this is. So you see, that's how this is one big unified thing. And then boom, you click your name and boom, it slides out.
Yeah.
And then if you want to see how things used to look.
No, that's okay.
All right. That is how far we've got on this. If you remember the SOW, it pretty much meets a lot of what's pretty much everything. And then if we just whatever, you could go through it against. I'm going to email this to you. Let's look at branding. All right.
I like that. I like that airplane.
Yeah, it's cool.
So
I like it.
the airplane is even. Wait till you see what we do with the airplane. So I'll tell you some of what we thought. So we want to stick with that color palette, the turquoise, all that kind of stuff. So one of the things that we've seen out there is, first of all, like I said before, red, orange, completely off limits, right? And then also that blue there's so many video platforms that are using blue that this way we could be in the family of blue without it being blue. But then look at this inside the circle.
That looks nice.
So the idea here is that it's not just an airplane, it's also your cursor.
Send button. Oh, or cursor. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Right? We really like this logo. But I'll show you what else we did.
Okay.
Now the other thing with the 3, okay? And I'll show you what we've been doing is that Carrie, again, whatever, but Carrie said make the 3 equal weight. We think that that's not a good idea.
Gotta be honest, have not heard that, but all right, let's see what it looks like.
What do you mean?
I have not heard her say make the 3 equal.
Yeah, we don't want the 3 to be equal weight. We want to keep it the way you guys have been doing it.
No, I like it.
So that's what we're saying. We think the most important word is via, and that, but you could see how this all kind of like, this looks modern and dope. I really like it. So then just so you can see how the 3, like the 3 just ruins it. So you could just see. Now the other thing we were thinking about was having the eye without the break, but we think
I
And it might be confusing.
Yeah,
I'm
I think-
torn. I kind of like the eye without the break, but it kind of looks like a slash. So I appreciate the break because it's more obviously a lowercase I.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
Via, you can see it's via.
Don't worry, we like you get it.
Yeah. No, I like that you tried that. I like that you tried it so that we can see that I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, there is a break. Yeah, it looks like a slash. V slash.
It does. It looks like V/A, but with the
Right.
dot, it looks clearer.
I'm
Oh,
just
yes.
showing you that's why we went with that. Same thing.
Yeah.
This could be really cool, but
Yeah, no, I don't like that. But I like the one to the right of that. I don't know that I love it, but that's an interesting take.
I overruled this one.
Okay.
Our designer really liked it, but it really, you don't know it's an eye. It's too confusing. Definitely.
All right.
It's-
Okay. I see why the designer liked it because it's bold, it's exciting, it's a different take. But I also see why you don't like it. It's pushed too
Yeah.
far, and
I said no.
It's confusing. What
like,
is
no way? Yeah.
yeah. I only like it because I know what it is. But if I didn't know what it was, then
it? Yeah, you wouldn't.
yeah.
Right.
Exactly. But I'm saying these were the finalists, and now you get our thought process.
Yeah.
That's
And I
it.
like that you showed us the 3 full size because I agree that was not a good idea, but it's good to see and know. Yeah.
It is good to see. Yeah.
This is how you this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So
Yeah.
all right. So now this is the color palette. And so basically, like you saw, we have this.
I like the blue.
Right, but then, and this again. Remember, I told you we have Magnus as our like secret person, also contributing to branding. So he
I love the green.
Yeah, he said that mint green is like really hot and like would be a great secondary color. And then to also go with the blacks and the grays like we have been on the product.
Yeah.
So now here's the.
Oh no.
This looks damn good, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. I mean, Craig, what do you think? Chop?
I'm sulking it in, so all good. All good.
I like it. And I prefer this version of the logo, the one that was all the way on the left hand side, because the right hand side was trying to utilize the negative space, but it just didn't. Unless you knew what it is, you won't get it. This is
Right.
great. I love the color palette too, because I'm also a fan of the greens and the blues too. So.
Right. So they're not only pretty colors, they're inviting colors, they're cheerful colors, it's really engaging.
And also it's about communication. So
yeah.
I mean, I didn't have Aurora present, but our branding person did a ton of research about
she did.
colors that are like around communication, icons that are about communication. And then the idea is, so I will show you guys something in a minute. Do not look too closely. I do not want you guys to be distracted by any other, like we have like 9 different airplanes, okay? Like that's what I'm saying. Like here, I'll show you for 30 seconds. All right. So that's all like the different versions of everything. You can see, but I'm saying, look at all these different airplanes. Like this one's too literal, and you could see she even put an airplane like in one of them that looks like a rocket company. But I'm saying this is all just so you understand. So in case it's like this didn't come out of thin air, this has been like getting iterated on all sorts of different ways. So you could see this was all the work we were putting into it to find like to get to where we got to.
Yep.
So now the typography, we could still work on typography, but I like the one on the right more than the one on the left. So Gothic Pro Bold, Proxima Nova Light.
I like the right myself.
Yeah, this again was more like we could do more typography. So, but this is, I'm going to send this to you guys. So this is just, again, this is the first shot at it.
Yeah.
So we could do more or less or whatever. So But I think this looks really good. I think multi-purpose project management look under the VIA3 thing looks dope. So I'm excited. Come on, I've been listening.
And we love your passion. We love your passion. Good and
I
bad.
like it.
Yeah, I've been listening to everyone's doubts all week. I'm like, I knew what was happening. So, I finally get to show it off. All right. So then this is explaining the logo. And so you even have a story behind it. You see like the airplane plus that. See, and like the whole idea of like that you're basically the idea is like VIA3, like your cursor is like your world. Like everything you need is on VIA3. So that's the idea there. And then and then the whole idea of communication and going forward. I mean, there's so much happening in this logo, even the way it's pointed, all of that.
Yeah, onward and upward. I do. I like it.
How do I do the high five again?
That's the other platform.
Thank you for the call back on the joke. Okay, so, and then, so it would be here. Now, I want it in the circle. I think the circle is way more effective. So, this is, she just put it there from what Magnus sent her a while ago. So I don't think this still needs to be fixed up.
Okay.
And you can see these are the colors that woman liked. And you can see even with this logo, how not good these colors are. All due respect.
I agree. No, it's fine.
And that's it. That's the end of the branding deck. All right. One last piece to cover with you guys. So this is the page requirements page. All right. Craig, I need you to pay attention to this one, especially. Because this is where, so this is basically, in a way, if you think about it, the key screens are the home page, the calendar page. So anything that's here is completed or getting completed, right? So after I talked to Magnus, and also this one too. So everything that I made this color, which is now going to be almost your color.
If I can interrupt for one quick second. Faxes is just a copy of files. I like what we've got. They don't need to be treated separately. Whatever we do for one, we can use for the other. That's what we're doing right now.
Okay. No. Okay, so Jeff, you're jumping ahead a little bit.
Sorry.
It's okay. All the blue is saying is it's out of scope.
Got it.
So then your choice is, okay, we'll do it ourselves, or we want Magnus to do it.
Got it.
So that is the purpose of this, is for us, like the next stage, now that you've seen all this stuff, is to say, yes, these pages need to be designed by Magnus, find out from Magnus how much more time he thinks he needs, or, no, we'll go do this ourselves. So that's what this piece is, okay?
Got it.
So the pop-out idea that we discussed several times, right? So let me go back to the other presentation. Where is it? All right. So we talked about a design language where you hit anything, and if you're in a channel, that some little sliver will come out, and then that we also put a little notch there, and then we could say that it'll slide out. So, Jeff, we talked specifically about this function. So
yes.
When I discussed it to Magnus was like, Scott, that's a lot of work. He's like, I can't just do that. He's like, that's the scope. So we just have to so I'm just pointing that out to you guys. So the purpose of this part of the call is just to go over these things so we could just discuss tomorrow and make some choices about, okay, Magnus, we want you to do these extra pages, give us a estimate of hours, and then I'll tell you guys what it is. So you could see that I said functionality, option to open in a column and push channel page or other page that is open to the right, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you push it to the right, and then the second part of it is, that what you and I discussed on our call that a couple days ago, which is then it opening all the way up and what happens there. So Magnus was saying that's not something just so simple. Okay. Then the other thing we talked about is creating modals for different pages. So Magnus is just saying that's extra work that wasn't in like what we obviously like any documentation that we've seen. So if we want to do modals, I think we should tell Magnus, do us, these 2 or 3 modals, and then we just put everything in those page categories into those modals. And I don't think it'll take him that long either. Okay.
Agreed.
Then the other thing is that he picked on me about was that on the contacts page, I said you need create contact. And he goes, Scott, that is a whole new page. It's a whole new modal. So he's
Okay.
like, I think we should have Magnus design it, not have Chuck and the team extrapolate from what he's done already. Again, let me make sure everyone knows what I showed you is still not done. There's still everything to finish on those pages still, and the things we said on previously in this call that we need to discuss, right? This part of this conversation is about what's out of scope. Some of it we've agreed is out of scope, and some of it is just come up that he said it's out of scope because he, you get it, because he said, this is a new page. So I, even to me, I'm trying to get as much as I can out of him. So the reason channel view video off is yellow is because of what we just talked about, that we know we need to give him more detail for this page. So that's why this is highlighted.
Okay.
Account quick view. I felt like we could do a little bit more work on that other than what he's done so far. So in that quick view, if we just want to add a couple more functions or whatever, that's why this is highlighted. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So we already discussed that. So everything that's blue here is what's out of, what's out of scope, right? Actually, registration page also, right? So we have to decide. See, because to me, if he makes the registration page, that could be combined as a create contact page. Like, what can we do to kind of save work? What things do we know we need him to do?
Yeah.
We know we need him to do the admin user management page.
Yes.
Like we're all in agreement about that.
Right. And Chuck and I have already begun working on it. And everybody has been told that was never in the first scope. It should have been, but it wasn't.
Yeah. So I'm just happy we're good with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Private call, and it even has a question mark, because it really is like, I think, given what we've talked about with your whole platform, this is something I wrote, is that I think that there's this entire kind of private call journey that comes from, it can come from your channel page, it could come from your contacts page, right? It can come. So the question is, like, to me, is that a different language than your channel page? If so, it needs to be designed. I think, and we can again discuss this later, I think private call could occur in a modal.
That's a solid thought. Yeah.
But
We can talk about that further. Right now, private call is not different from a channel. Imagine a channel that has 2 people in it. That's the current private call. It's not handled differently. But I like your question mark. Should we handle it differently?
Well,
let's talk about that.
Right, because that was based on our conversation, that I thought that something that was important to you was having a private call, and it could go over a channel, and the private call would be a modal, and then your channel gets muted, and you have the private call while the channel is going on in the background. So that's why I thought it really, because you were even trying to figure out how it would happen. We were saying your camera only works for one thing. Well, if it's a modal, then it happens wherever you are in the app. And you're like, hey, Bob from accounting. Yo, I need you to jump into this meeting right now. I'm in this meeting. Okay, I'll see you there. Bye. Right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It pops up. So that's my suggestion there. You guys got my suggestion, right? Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Client intake. I haven't even seen what that looks like.
Okay.
Okay. Then these are the to be discussed plan that you sent, right? So
Yeah,
I
that's
think-
all distant future roadmap. Like none of that exists. It's just stuff we want to build someday.
All right. So I got that. I think out of all of these things, you should have Magnus design an inbox message center for you. And I think that that's going to be something you're going to have very quickly with your accounts. And it's not something you want to scramble to build later. So that's my recommendation there. Channel calendar, team calendar, I feel like those are things you can adapt. So that ends my presentation.
Well done, Scott. Guys,
Exactly 1 hour too.
good. Fantastic. Fantastic. So send us send us those documents, Scott. And then if you need, Jeff is going to be running it here. So just let us know if we can give any feedback at any time, guys. And I'm just glad to see that everything's come together here today. So good job.
Is Vito on still?
He's still here.
Vito's on still. Yep, heard every
All right.
word.
You know, it looks
Read
great.
every
I look forward to you
screenshot.
watching the recording later.
All right, great.
It
Okay.
really
Send me a
looks
bunch
great,
of
Scott.
screenshots.
No,
Thanks.
really, I mean,
It looks
really
good.
slick, right? I mean, it's really,
I'm just happy for you guys to be done waiting and for that stupid saga to be over. I really get that I've been doing a lot of talking and you haven't gotten to see anything.
no, okay, well, we've all made
But
mistakes.
I totally appreciate it. I totally get that you guys hadn't seen anything. And so I was just so happy to be able to, get to see you guys.
Well, we knew,
Vito, you tried to say something, Vito?
No, I just said that you were sending me screenshot and everything looks good. I like most of it.
Cool.
All right. Well, if there's something you don't like, since you said most of it, I would like that if I could get that feedback as soon as
No, it's not that I don't like anything. It looks most of it looks very good. I think it's good. I'll leave the rest up to Jeff and Craig and we'll discuss it, but I think it's all good.
Okay.
Did a nice job.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So yeah. So, and you guys get that I'm still holding their feet to the fire too, but I really think, so let me just give you a few action items. So Jeff, I think you and I need to go over, like I said, the things that are missing that are within the current commitment. We need to
Right.
fill in those blanks. Then we need to, like I said, admin, all that. We need to also fill in all the blanks for everything else. And then say to Magnus, these are the ones we need you to do. Get an estimate from Magnus for that. So that everyone's, again, like that was already how I was operating with Carrie, although we didn't know that she didn't give me one of the most important things. So we'll go with that there so that the whole point is it's up to you guys. You're the ones controlling the budgets, but we don't
Right.
we want Magnus to keep going until it's done, right? Chuck, you need to tell him what the best file types are for you.
Mm-hmm.
And Chuck worked with him, so you know that.
Yeah.
And then, right. And then the thing is, Jeff, like as far as extrapolating all that, like Magnus doesn't want to do things for you that you don't need. So we're already on that page with you. We know that this is an expense, but we want to keep it down to a one-time expense, and keep it, keep it within scope. But I'll make my recommendations there. With the what I was going to say is Patty. I was thinking that Patty should just, one of the things you want to do, especially before we, get to where we're starting to close out the UX UI, is really think about the use cases and really think about if there's anything that you've missed on the use cases that, that we just need to add here and there. Because like I said, getting Magnus to do something for 5 minutes now is better than getting at it later. So,
Okay.
I'm saying, like, if you start targeting trucking companies, are you starting, you know what I mean? Like you said, hospitals, just search your brains, because I think it's better for you to be proactive and to really think about, oh my God, think about who your clients are going to be, so that we can take care of that. Okay. Then with the branding, did you guys have any feedback about the branding?
I mostly love it. That eye is rubbing me the wrong way. Let me just mull it over for a while. I'm torn about, I saw like a bunch of choices, and I mostly agree that your agreed upon favorite is the favorite, but
You've been distracted.
sorry, they weren't choices. Sorry, they were process. And there were some good ideas throughout the process. And I agree that the favorite is the best, but just I liked some of the others. That's all.
They told me not to show you. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
And you want to be really like the
Sure.
thing is, no, here, let's just do it now.
No, I mean they're all good. Like they're all good, but I think the best is the best.
I'm
Have
telling
you
you.
tried, Scott? Have you tried showing that logo to people who have no idea what VIA 3 is? Do they know that that third letter is actually an A? Do they say VIA 3? Like,
First, you have to say yes. Look, Magnus is even saying that, even with the UX UI, that we need to bring it in front of people, and you may need to make changes based on that too.
Mhm.
That Magnus was saying that his last app that he did, they spent 6 months, deciding where everything goes and all that. I mean, there's a level to which this is very last minute, and this is very like by the seat of our pants, that that we really, even with this UX UI that Magnus does, you're gonna find out that these clients want maybe something different or whatever. Like you haven't tested that either. So yeah, I think all of this is gonna be like that. But look, this is what I showed you. I will tell you, we definitely picked the best airplane without.
No, definitely the best plane. Yeah, there's just so many different eyes. But I do. I like the one that we
All right, let me tell you about the eyes, okay?
have.
No, because I'm the expert, right? I'm the person who does branding day in, day out. Straight is terrible,
Agreed.
okay? The disappearing eye is
Also agreed. I mean, I liked it at first, but I don't anymore.
okay. Rocket ship inside A, terrible. Okay? Then I'm gonna just be honest with you. This is too much like a penis. That's why
Okay.
I got shot down. The last thing you want is people to make fun of you with the penis eye.
Okay.
You guys see it now, right?
I didn't until you said it, but now
Yeah.
I do, and
I
I
was
can't
like-
stop.
I was like, hell no. I'm like, what's that penis eye doing there? And she's like,
Yeah.
okay. And then, of course, these are terrible. They're ancient looking, whatever. That was her just kind of showing that the direction that Mariana was going was the wrong direction.
Fair enough.
Okay. These are not good. These are very not good. They're old looking, all that. You see all this, not good.
No, I agree.
Okay. The threes being too big, the threes being in the eye. This is like too hokey, too silly.
All right.
No, I mean, I want you to see like a lot of thought and expertise went into this and
Agreed.
consideration. So yeah,
Yeah.
I really don't see something here that's better than what we have. And I think what we have is actually really good. And
Agreed. I'm glad that we revisited the process. Yeah, it's a thorough process, and agreed the end result is the best.
but you know what? I am gonna have her play with the eye. Just not penis. Okay.
I mean, yeah. Now that you've said it, you're right.
Right.
Like the new Pepsi logo, I didn't see a guy bent over showing off his butt until someone showed me, and now it's all I see in the new Pepsi logo, and they probably spent millions on that.
Right. So yeah. So no, I'm glad I showed that to you because I don't want you to walk away with like some thought in your head. So yeah. So basically the point is I'm gonna have her do a few more treatments, just seeing other ways we could approach the eye. But because I thought that just having the eye straight without the dot would work. But then we see that it looks like
No, as soon as you see it, I get it. I thought it would work too, and as soon as you see it, nah, it looks like a slash.
Exactly. So that's why that happened. But I honestly think if I thought you needed to do more, I would say so. I think it looks amazing, and I think that icon is brilliant. So, but again, like And I know you might think I'm pumping up the person who works for me, but I am not easy. Like when it comes to that shit, I am not easy. So yeah. I mean, I already put her through the ringer for the eye. So
Yeah.
so Craig, what do you think about the icons and all that stuff?
Trusting the process. So everything looks, now that we've actually seen something, right? It's like, not to say go to work, but you've already been working, but go to work, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Polish it up. It looks great.
Well, what do you need polished up? That's what I'm asking.
Well, all the stuff that you highlighted that we still need to talk about.
Oh, no, that's the UX UI. I'm talking about the branding.
Oh,
Okay. I just assumed that's what Craig also meant. Craig, is that what you also meant?
Oh, everything that we just discussed on top of that. So whatever's next after feedback, etc. I know you guys are going to come together with a great plan. So, we're all bright minds here. Just keep going back and forth and the best will come out.
yeah.
I'm just glad to get this to you guys. So, and
Excited.
I know I'm proud of what got done.
Yeah.
All right, so
I mean,
Jeff, I'm gonna sleep after all this, and then we'll get together tomorrow. And look, but you all need to go. I'm gonna send this to you, but you need to go and really think it through. And like I said, what I don't like, we can't do like Monday morning quarterbacking. We have to be
Okay.
proactive. What needs to be changed? I need to know tomorrow. I need to know Monday.
Okay.
We need to, and we need to like discuss that right away. Go
Yeah.
look at that
Yeah.
requirements sheet. Look at the things in blue.
Pretty
You need to approach the requirements the way I said, even if Magnus is not around. Because you get it. I explained to you why. So,
Yeah.
all right. Any other? Are we good?
That's it. We're good. Thanks, Scott. Good job.
Yeah.
We'll talk tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, everyone, and thank you for all your patience. And I think we had ultimately ended up with something a lot better. So,
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Talk to y'all
No
later.
doubt.
Oh, there's
See you
Chuck. Hi, Chuck.
hey, Chuck.
Hey, in a very pink room. Yeah.
It's very pretty.
My
All
daughter-
right. Thank you,
we're building-
guys.
All right.
Really
Take care.
appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye. Going to dinner.
Bye.